telling the story of one of the greatest superheroes of the DC world. There's a challenge. The most important thing is that it gets to your heart. Growing up with Batman and Superman and Flash, it was an opportunity to reconnect with childhood experiences reading DC Comics.
Flash fact, DC Comics actually stands for Detective Comics.
The tone for the film, I think, is very much Andy's signature.
He can jump from funny to scary to emotional really fast.
And it's also a time travel story, which I find very exciting.
Andy managed to put these tiny little DC Easter eggs into the It movie.
I like your glasses, Mr. Keene. You look just like Clark Kent.
I don't know about that.
One, he was vying for the job way earlier than any of us knew. Or two, while making the Flash movie, he discovered time travel for real, went back in time, and went to put all these things in just to mess with us. Either way, well played, sir.
You meet Andy, and you immediately can understand why he's the perfect choice for this movie. It's his compassion, his priority in this film of finding the heart of the story.
I'm also excited to see Andy's version of the Speed Force. He happened to have done some doodles that I may or may not have taken and kept. They are literally unlike anything you've ever seen before. But Barry, because he's got this ability to go back and manipulate time, he's the only one who can actually go and change his own personal story.
His mother was murdered, his father was framed and incarcerated, and all his journey from then was of a man trying to make things right.
And it sounds like a cliche, but script is everything. When I got to read Christina's first draft, I was just blown away.
The script has really captured his loquacity, his personality.
So you're fast.
That feels like an oversimplification.
I fell in love with The Flash when I read Flashpoint. The combination of giant spectacle, action, and fun with this incredibly personal, intimate story of a boy just trying to save his mum.
He's someone who has the power of changing the events of the past, but by doing so can deteriorate the very fabric of the space-time continuum.
The juxtaposition between his vulnerability and his immense power is really what's exciting about superheroes to me.
Time travel isn't simple. It's not always a straightforward case of go back and change one thing and another thing changes in the future.
This film is immensely important because if you look around at the DC universe, obviously we have all of these characters that exist within their own bubbles.
The cinematic multiverse is going to be born out of this movie. It's born out of Barry's story.
It blows our minds, the levels of possibility that exist within the context of this character and this story.
I can't wait for all of us to be able to sit down in a theater and enjoy these movies in the dark with a lot of people and with great snacks.
So I'd like to share a couple of concept art drawings, and it's Barry Allen's new suit. As you can see, it's more organic. You can see light embedded in it. It has been built by his friend Bruce Wayne this time.
What's up, real MVPs? Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into another one of my DC Fandome videos. Doing a lot of these after DC Fandome yesterday on Saturday. And in this video, we're taking a look at The Flash. And we had a short little Flash panel with the director, the scriptwriter, and then obviously the Flash himself, Ezra Miller. And they didn't give us a lot in the panel, but they gave us enough to talk about. I'm going to talk about two main things from the panel that kind of struck out to me. The first one will be a little short, kind of holy shit, this is cool. And then the second part will be kind of the bigger discussion. And I'm also going to bring something in from a earlier panel with Jim Lee, Walter Hamada, and then Greg Berlanti earlier in the day. So the first thing we got to talk about is they showed us what the new suit will look like for the Flash. And I'm going to put it up on the screen for you guys. It looks to me, and this should be clear to everyone, that old junky piece of metal like with wires all around, it is gone. The Flash has got a new form-fitting suit. It looks like it's powered from the Speed Force right at his chest as it goes through the rest of it. It looks like he's got the classic Flash wings on the side. And to me, when I saw this, no matter what you think of Ezra Miller, because I know that one of our own, Dave Oster, who is a Flash fan through and through. Batman's my favorite hero, and what Batman is to me, the Flash is to Dave. And although, Dave, you might be watching, although you might not like Ezra Miller, you cannot tell me you can't look at this suit and go, holy shit, that looks awesome. Because this looks like the Flash suit we should have had the first time around. Like, if we would have got this the first time around, I would have been like, holy shit, this looks awesome. Guess what I'm saying now? Holy shit, this looks awesome. And the thing about it that they said is it's going to be Bruce Wayne tech, and it's going to be Bruce Wayne inspired. Bruce Wayne is helping him with this suit, which it makes sense because of everything that's gone on with the Flash and the Justice League and stuff. He has the old suit. This is going to be the new suit. Obviously, Bruce Wayne can help him with that. But to me, my question is, what version of Bruce Wayne is going to help him with that? Because in the Flash's multiverse, the one that Ezra Miller's Flash is in, Ben Affleck is his Batman. And I know what you can say, well, Ricky, they're going to change that. Robert Pattinson will be that. Has not changed that yet. They have not given us that specific. And right now, Ben Affleck is his Batman. So is it Batfleck that's helping him make this? Or, because of what's going to happen in their movie, is the Flash going to team up with Michael Keaton's Batman, which we know is happening? We know that Michael Keaton's Batman is going to be in the Flash movie. Is that going to be the Bruce Wayne that helps him? And this kind of leads me in to the second part, is most of this panel was about multiverse and time travel, because that's kind of what this movie is going to pertain. It's going to be based off of the Flashpoint story, because when the screenwriter Christina Hudson, who wrote Bumblebee, she's writing the script for the Flash. She said that her main inspiration, or like her main kind of reference for the Flash, or how she got introduced to him, was Flashpoint. And Flashpoint has been something where we knew that this was going to entail some points of Flashpoint. This Flash, Ezra Miller's Flash, is going to go back and try to help his father. We do not know. I'm assuming that it's the time-old story of mother died. Wasn't father who killed her, but the father gets incarcerated for it. But we don't really know that unless I'm forgetting something from Justice League or BVS. And to me, the main is going to be, hey, I want to get my father out of jail. Oh, wait, I can do that. I'm the Flash. I can go and get him out of jail by changing the past. That's not the only time they brought up time travel, though, in this. And Christina Hudson, who her quote I'll read now, says, time travel isn't simple. It's not always a straightforward case of go back and change one thing and another thing changes in the future. This, to me, is them teasing how this is going to ripple through the DC universe and their extended movies. Because I've said this before, I kind of believe this to be true, is I think their plan is going to be, hey, we do this, things change, and by the time the Flash gets back to his time, it's no longer Batfleck that he sees. It's now Robert Pattinson. And that's how they're basically going to change things within the DC universe, or the DC multiverse, I should say, where, hey, Ben Affleck's not here because you changed that and something changed there. You went ahead and changed your own timeline. Here's the other thing that gets confusing, but we're going to try to keep it in order of, if he's going to be talking to Michael Keaton's Batman, he's not just going to be going back in time. The Flash is going to be messing with multiverses. And we kind of got a taste of this when Ezra Miller's Flash was in the Flash TV show. And this is a point I'm going to touch at the end of the kind of video, but by him doing all these changes, by messing with Michael Keaton's Batman, this is what I brought up about the suit. Is it going to be Michael Keaton that helps him make the new suit so that he can make it back to his multiverse, his version of Earth, and then originally his time where he's supposed to be in the timeline? I wonder if they're going to kind of, like with the Batman thing, I'll bring this up. Are they going to do it to where this ripples through and then Robert Pattinson's Batman is now the same Batman with Ezra Miller and Wonder Woman? Or are they going to say, hey, we're going to keep it as Batfleck. Maybe we bring Ben Affleck back at a certain time for a future Justice League movie, and we let Robert Pattinson's Batman be a different version of Batman. And it was like, we have all these different Batman, we have all these different Flashes, and why I feel like The Flash could be the most important movie for DC is the fact that there was a panel right after the day started with Wonder Woman 1988 or 1984. And they had the panel. At the end of the panel, we got the Wonder Woman trailer. It was the first trailer that we had seen for the day. And after that, they did a panel, I think it was about a half-hour panel, with Jim Lee, who was from the comics division, Walter Hamada, who's from the movies division, and then Greg Berlanti, who is from the TV division, the Arrowverse, the Titans, that's his division. And the thing they mentioned during that panel was, I can't remember which one of them said it, but they said movies plus TV equals HBO Max. And they were talking about these characters kind of, I think it was Hamada that mentioned it, these characters meshing together where HBO Max might give them a platform to where, hey, we can have the Flash from the TV show mess and have a story with Ezra Miller's Flash, and it doesn't have to mess up either of the multiverses that we've already made, where to me that is an interesting concept of, we want to tell stories with different characters. We already have them established in different Earths or different multiverses, and that they can bring them together in a way for HBO Max. And to me, you may sit there and think, well, Ricky, this is just a money grabbing thing. They want to get people to buy HBO Max. But if you're going to buy HBO Max because you like the DC content, because it's moving there, this is just something that if you're a DC fan, you have to have HBO Max, because they're going to be doing things where the TV is interacting with the movies, and this could be the place for it, where it happens here. It doesn't mess up either of the kind of homes that they have made, because if you have like Ezra Miller's Flash go to the TV version, what they do there could mess up the TV version, and you don't want that. But who knows? Maybe the HBO Max kind of having it, them being together on that platform, does the same thing because they're in the same setting and it doesn't really matter. But I just thought, wow, they are headed towards something where we eventually are going to see movies and TV kind of mixed together. Maybe we see Batman from the movies interact with the Titans, or I'm trying to think, or like the Cyborg from Doom Patrol interact with the Justice League from the movies. And those are just not even like great ideas. I'm just trying to think of things off the top of my head, but there are stories out there for them to do with these different characters. Hey, maybe Green Arrow finally gets into the Justice League. And how do they do that? Oh, HBO Max, they did something where Green Arrow and someone from the Justice League got together. So for me, that was, I wanted to tag this on at the end because I think it's going to be interesting to see what DC does. They mentioned Multiverse a lot during DC Fandome, and I can't wait for... Am I nervous about The Flash? Yes. Am I optimistic about what it could set up? Yes. The only reason I'm nervous about it is because, like Dave, I'm not 100% of a fan of Ezra Miller. But there's times where I'm like, I understand why they casted him. Director and screenwriter for this, they hit it out of the park. It was great. Bumblebee was great. They got the best of two worlds to come together and kind of direct and write this movie. That I'm not worried about. So I can't wait to see how this sets up. If Multiverse is going to be the big thing that they go towards. I'm going to flip the question on to you, though, and your ideas. What do you think? Do you think this is going to be a grandstand of a movie and set up something big for the DC? We call it the DCEU, but really the DC universe of movies and TV. And what are your ideas? What would you want to see if we had like a TV and a movie kind of crossover on HBO Max? What would you guys want from that? Let me know what you think down below in that comment section. Make sure, like always, to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And by hitting that button, you'll be able to, the little bell notification, you'll be able to know when we post videos here on MVP Entertainment. Make sure to check out patreon.com/MVPvids if you want to help support the channel. And that's our lifeblood. That's how we make the money in order to make these videos for you each and every day that we love doing. Make sure to check that out as always. And as always, I'm saying as always a lot. I always say it. As always, as always, as always. Have a good day, everybody.